I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Great to see you all, as usual. And you. Thank you for coming. All right. We have a motion to approve the August 18th meeting. Minutes for the meeting. Mark?
I have a question. I had a couple emails going back and forth about the original draft, and I just wanted to make it clear, because I think right now it says that the community risk management reduction specialist cannot exceed 20 hours a week. And that's my intention when I made that motion was it was average of 20 hours a week. So 1 week he might work 24 hours, and the next week he might work 18 hours.
Right, and I remember that. Again, we'd have to go back to the video recording just to see exactly what was said, how it was said, but I believe that it ended up being just a cap on the money. So he would put X amount of hours 1 week and then more hours the next week, and it would even out in the same.
Well, just so we understand that.
Right.
That, and it was up to 30 grand.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I just didn't want there to be a problem if, 1 week you work 4 hours more, the next week you work 4 hours less. I didn't want there to be an issue there.
Yep. Okay, we have Mark made the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mike? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Treasurer's report, Bill, what have you got?
Okay, let's do the codes one first. This one. The easiest one because there's no activity this month. On the extreme left, that's the checking account balance, $1,985. In the middle is the savings account at M&T, $7,178. I'm sorry, it's $7,193 at M&T. And then the last column is the New York class amount, $83,000. And then the regular report, front page, is our financial position, listing all of our accounts. Page 2, 3, and 4 is the budget versus the actual. Up to today, August 31st.
September 15th?
Page 5 is the referendums. I think last month, did we say we're doing away with referendum 3? It's got $602 in there. Anybody remember? If not, we'll do that. Page 6 is the service award. did very well this last 30 days. Over $1 million. Page 7 is the liabilities. We only have one outstanding one now since we paid up, we paid off the other bond. And then the last page, I was real pleased with myself. Wow, this came out nice. This is tonight's vouchers. I'm looking at that, liking it. And then I realized it didn't print the memo. So on the actual voucher, it'll spell out what those items were. I'll fix this for the next one. And I missed that, going through it, a nice clean report on the left, listing the categories, the vendors, and the amount. It does not have the memo of what it was spent. They are on the vouchers though. We have 5 credit card vouchers tonight, no codes, and 36 district vouchers. The report is starting to take shape. A couple more weeks, I hope to have that down pat. Hope. The operative word. That's all I got.
Okay. Any questions for Bill on anything?
And Kit wins the bank statement.
Questions? Working on it. It's okay. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report? Mark, second. Mike? Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Bill, have you got an update on the RFP for the annual report?
It's progressing. I needed to get some information from Bill to write up the proposal, the request for proposal, so we hope to have that out by the end of next week of the 1st.
Okay. Okay, so we need a motion to approve the vouchers to be paid and as audited by Kit.
I'll make a motion.
Kit will make the motion, Mike seconds it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. So the only thing we have is a permissive referendum of the 600s. That's still in question.
We got one for that.
Great. All right, so we have two on there. Number 3 is in question. We have 60242. Is there any reason to keep that open? No? Okay, hearing none, let's close that. Number 8 has a dollar value of 0. Any reason to keep that one open? No? Okay. We have a vote to close both of those, or a motion to close both of those.
Make a motion.
Michael Malone, and second by
Chair.
Chair.
Or chair.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Amy, have you got correspondence?
Our application for the Tompkins County Health Insurance Consortium has been reviewed and will be voted on at their annual meeting on September 25th at the Ithaca Conference Center. We've been invited to attend. And the Fire District Affairs was received and distributed. We also received some information about a physical provider, so something to consider in the future, and a letter from a CDM Construction Design and Management. It's like their, it's like 315 number. Oh, they're in Burton. They could do pre-construction planning, budgeting, so it's something we can keep on file if we have future renovations or builds or anything like that. And that's all I have for correspondence. We were looking for approval for Kit and I to attend the annual meeting for Tompkins County.
Somebody want to make that motion to approve Kit and Amy to attend?
I make a motion to approve Amy and Kit. Attend the meeting.
I'll second the motion.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? How about abstentions? Kit, do you have an abstention?
Kit, you wanna go?
I just didn't think, because I was going to be traveling, I didn't think I should.
Oh, you're thankful.
You're not going?
Think I should abstain?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Moving right along. Personnel. What do you got here?
Chief.
How about the chief's report?
Yes, sir. So we have requested a county civil list sent to Onondaga County Civil Service. We have not heard back. And we have our 4 new firefighter EMTs have all completed their orientations. They're all scheduled for shifts and out there on the line. Our schedule for next month is looking great. We have 1 evening where we have 1 person. All the other shifts were filled at this point. So that was just up today, so it's looking good. We're also out of summer, so that's also helpful. Moving on, purchase request and notification, so we do have additional surplus. Looking to surplus and dispose 4 additional coats of turnout gear that were found thermal damaged, another pair of pants that was found thermal damaged, and then we have a coat with 17 ribs old and in poor condition. We'd like to dispose of all of those. We also have a Motorola mobile radio. It was the Station 2 base radio that failed. It was actually queuing up fire control every so many seconds. We had to go get that offline. It's been replaced with another radio that we had in spare. But that radio is inoperable. There's no market value to it. Nobody will buy it. It's worth just disposing of. We're also looking at surplusing and donating 102 rolls of Sensi Wrap less size cloth bandage. So for those that aren't familiar, it's the stretchy bandage that's been kicking around in the endless supply room. It's not carried on our rigs, it's not required to be carried on our rigs, and our providers really aren't using it. So we'd like to donate it. We do have 2 agencies that are willing to take it off of our hands, so we can provide it to 2 other agencies to use if we donate that. And then the last dispose is several sections of forage supply. You have the numbers there. We use so all of those were greater than 15 years old, some of them significantly more, but the Storts couplings were in good shape. So we cut those Storts couplings off to use for curb jumpers that you will see down in your purchase notifications. So instead of having to spend $250 for a new Storts connection, we took the best of what we had that was sitting around out back, and we used those for those curb jumpers. So that gets us through all of the surplus and disposal we made.
Okay, so do we have a motion to surplus and dispose of? Mark, second? Okay. Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
All right, for purchases, we'll move to the bottom, so the curb jumpers that were in there, we have requested from Jerome, and we sent hose off to get cut down. So we used, again, hose that was in good condition, within serviceable date to cut down for curb jumpers. So we're not buying brand new 50 or 25 foot sections, we're taking our older hose that the new Mercedes cloth hose replaced, that's going off for curb jumpers. Our curb jumpers are incredibly old. They've seen their time. So this was in the budget for this year. We're doing 6 50-foot sections, 4 25-foot sections, and then we cut down one length of 2.5 to 2 25-foot sections. One will be used for the brush truck as a supply hose. The other will go to bucket of truck 2 with a nozzle and a Bresnan distributor. The hose that was in the bucket of truck 2 is questionable at best. And looking back through the hose test records, it had not been hose tested for several years. So we pulled that out of service. All the truck's been out of service, and when we get that new section in there, we'll get that loaded up well. As far as purchases that we're looking for permission for, last month we approved the W Steps telescoping ladder. It's the 3-person, 1,100 pound rated. We received that, it went on the engine 11, it got used within 2 days of it going onto the engine in a structure fire. It's already found a purpose in a home, it fits on there well and fits our operations well. So we're looking to purchase an additional one for engine 21 to make those match. And we have the permissive referendum for budget, we'd like to take that right from the permissive referendum for additional equipment for 21. The other thing that we're looking to purchase is a Knoxbox 2-key safe for engine 11, and that will be from the general equipment budget. And that is, again, to upgrade safe in there so we can carry both our key and Northwest key. So that will make both engines with the 2-key safe carrying both district's keys.
Very good. Do we need okay. I'll make the motion to go ahead and what the chief said. Do we have a second?
I'll say.
Mike? Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Okay. For communications, we've been working with the State Office of Fire Prevention Patrol to get us enrolled in the municipal training program. We sent them the required information, and within the last couple of days, I just saw it today, we received a letter back that we are enrolled in that. We've been issued our MTO number. And we'll start now working with OFBC and the standards unit to fully understand our requirements in there and get those implemented. The other thing that we're doing with that is we already have folks signed up for instructor authorizations so that they can go and be authorized to teach the classes that we have within our personnel levels. So we have 2 folks that are registered for the truck company house. That will help all of our members meet the personnel levels that we've agreed to. So we'll be able to host those classes in-house and teach that directly. We'll have our own instructors for that class, and hopefully more to come in the future. Chief Rocky can expand on that further, but we're in that program now and working hand in hand with the state to make sure that we're meeting our requirements and providing what we can for our folks in-house. The other communications was our business community meeting. I had sent you all the invitation to that. We hosted that today at Station 2. We had probably 10 businesses join us today. A couple of them were very enthusiastic about it. We had a good conversation. We presented the fire district and the fire department to them, and several folks have shown that they're eager to work with us and get relationships established or reestablished. Several folks talked about that in the 90s they had done some work, and a few years back they had done some work. So we gave them information on the fire department. We also asked them to complete a survey. We've already gotten a few responses on that survey from today's meeting. A few folks have already taken the time to sit there and fill that out and give us information back. That's looking like it's taken them about 15 minutes a pop, but very, very positive today off of that meeting. So we was glad to see that attended and glad to see some folks enthusiastic about working with us. As far as our projects, we are still working on our SCBA plan and purchase. In fact, we had folks fit testing tonight, and for the next 3 days, there's fit test for that. And we are working on Engine 21 outfitting. Electronics will be going in this week, and the only thing outstanding then will be getting the tool mounts in. I'll be reaching out to Andy tomorrow, Wednesday. He was looking for a date to get that in there for us. Once we have that work done, we'll set a date to do the rest of the apparatus plan, where we'll get 21, 11, truck 2, all parked side by side. We'll move the equipment off of old 21 onto new 21, and we've got some equipment that has to shift between the vehicles to make 11 and 21, mostly twins of one. So we'll set a date to do that. We'll set, it's probably going to be a 4 to 6 hour work session to get that vehicle squared away. So once we know when Holden will be done with the tool mount, we'll get that date set. We'll move forward with the rest of the apparatus plans, as you all have seen with shifting vehicles and getting that in service. Policy for me, no significant updates. Chief Natola does have some, but I'll pause there for any feedback or questions.
Can I go back to the MTO?
Yes.
Can you tell me more about the MTO program? I know when Lysander Public Safety was doing some state training, there were limits on what things we could teach. Well, how does that work for the MTO?
So by New York State law, because we have greater than 6 employees working in the firefighter EMT classification, we have to be enrolled in the municipal training program. So we have done that enrollment. What that allows us now is internally, we can send our folks to New York State instructor authorization courses for the classes we want to teach, and then we can host those classes internally. So the limits that we have on that are really having the appropriate number of instructors and the appropriate facilities. We still have to meet all of those course requirements, but if we can meet those course requirements and we have folks that have the appropriate authorizations, we'll be able to host those in-house. Where we do have restrictions in what we'll be doing, we are not authorized to allow other departments into those classes for New York State certification unless the county fire coordinator agrees to it. So we will be reaching out to the county fire coordinator's office and asking if we can have a meeting to discuss that, to see if there's a path to allowing other departments in, and I think what makes sense there are the folks in the coalition and the folks in town, right, our town of Lysander folks. That's what we'll be proposing to the county fire coordinator, but they have discretion on whether they approve that or not. And that's straight from the state that they get to do that. And the reason for that is so that we aren't stripping the students off of the county classes and the county forced to cancel classes because we're taking students away. They also provided some examples of, when I was talking to the state about that topic exactly, they said there were some examples where some folks were charging students to come in and take the class, which was not way. So I immediately told them that is not our intent. Our intent is to work with our mutual aid partners so that we're training everybody to the same standard in the same place, training together. That's really our goal. We'll be reaching out to the fire coordinator and asking for a meeting and see if they're willing to entertain that.
So they can still walk out with a state certificate.
When we host it internally, yes. Because our folks have the state authorization, it's a state class, it will get a state class number, and it's just like if you were to take it in county, but it's hosted in county. Our resources teaching it, not everybody else's resources.
Do you charge for the tower like we have in the past when other people use it? If you end up going to the town water, and you provide the instructor, but everybody else is from another department, then can you charge for the tower?
I do not believe so. They were very careful about saying, you're not using this program to charge folks for what you're doing. If the county fire coordinator allows us to teach other departments, what would make sense is if there is equipment used, that we would share that cost burden. But as far as straight charging, that's specifically what they're trying to do. I understand that takes wear and tear on our tower, but that is what they warned us about when we go to do other folks, is not charging folks.
I mean, to phrase my question a little bit better, I think, instead of using it just to burn, it's more of the wear and tear maintenance type of thing, where we're gonna end up paying for it, and then everybody else got the certificates from it, so.
What I would recommend, because that's real, is that we approach codes on sharing appropriate costs of maintenance on our tower, because we are letting our partners use the tower free of charge. March Corners will be in there this Thursday. So I think that would be appropriate now to turn around and go back to codes, and the codes funding that's specifically for that, and say, hey, we are using this across, if we're allowed to, or even as we're allowing folks to use the tower, and say, hey, can we work to come to an agreement within codes on taking some of that money and transferring it to Belgium for upkeep of the tower, instead of tying it to the class. And I think we do that, we want to keep that separate from hosting the classes, so that we don't even start to fall into a gray area of charging folks. So I agree, there's wear and tear, but as we increase the amount of training we're doing together and using that, I think we could probably approach code.
And just to clarify, too, past practice was if it was a mixed class, if it had our people and another departments, but the other department was in theory renting it out, but allowing our people to be there, we didn't charge them if our people were training with them. So if it was a mixed group, we still weren't recouping that cost anywhere. But if it was a whole, like, the whole class was another department, or the whole training night was another department, then they were charged for it.
In the work we're doing with the chiefs across town of Lysander towards the standard operating guidelines and the standard incident response, I think that now increases the use of the tower across the departments. We start training on those things together. So we have a justification now that we're doing those things together as we start to agree on what that response looks like. So we've got, I don't think it would be offensive to anybody, we've got codes here soon that would say, let's find a way to support that.
So that's all fine, but we need to make sure that that the departments that are using it are members of the Lysander Public Safety Group. So that's a key element right there. Yes.
For Chief Vitoli's update, he's been diligently working on the edits for the policies that we agreed to. Personnel levels was really the one that we wanted to get pushed out as we started to look towards elections for the department. So he worked heavily, and then Amy worked heavily on that one. We made our final adjustments to that and got that pushed out last week. Meeting with him today, the other two are basically done. We just need to do another review of those. We'll get them back to you, and then we'll get those released for our respiratory protection policy and the risk management policy. He also completed and submitted the agency EMS certification that was due this year. In there, he also submitted the certification for vehicles. So he has been diligently working on policy, and he was able to get all of the EMS requirements met and get our agency applications.
Very good. Any questions for the chief? Okay. Assistant Chief Melfield, what have you got for us?
Training update, EMS wise, we were about 60-65% done with our EMTs. They get completed their CMEs for 2025. And we've also, for the fire side, we've done a modified CPAC with the group that came out this last week, and we'll continue that with the members that show up to training. And we've got the EVOC training starting up real soon, and thanks to Lieutenant Harrison for starting that last week. We're going to start the classroom part soon, and we're doing the skills part also as we can. Based on the new policy for the SCBAs that are coming out, we're going to start more SCBA training, the quarterly training that's required, and get us ready for the new SCBAs that are coming on soon from our new designs that are coming. And then CPR-wise, right now we've got pretty much everybody in the department done CPR-wise. We have a handful of people left to go. That'll get us up to almost 100% on CPR AED training for the entire membership, which is in line with the newest policy. The other thing we're working on, because that member level policy came out, we're also working on, I've already given anybody in the department chances to complete the online training, so they don't have to wait for a state class, they don't have to wait for ours, they don't have to wait for anything else, they can get all those done and out of the way as soon as possible. We mentioned the in-house training with our partners, that's also another piece we're working on. And then the other thing coming up in a couple months, we'll be putting together our list of requests from the state for classes, obviously, that would help us get to where we need to go. So we'll be putting that list together also, so we get that squared away.
Very good. Any questions for Chief Melfield?
One is maybe old business type thing, but it was with you. Locators for at least the first out vehicles, how are you doing on those?
Rephrase the question.
Kind of like I am responding when you see it.
Yeah, so we actually, so this last business meeting, we actually sat in the business meeting, we worked on getting everybody's IM responding up, and we've actually adjusted it. We're adjusting it to 25 minutes on the locator rather than 5, so that everybody can actually see the people when the call comes in, and you can actually see them for an average call that goes on, you can see what's going on with them. So that's helping now that we can see the people on there. So we'll continue to catch the people when I can and try to get them caught up to what our standard is now.
How about for yourself as a chief, getting it for the vehicles?
As in,
The vehicle locator.
so
Works the same way.
yeah,
You're driving up River Road, you go on the patch, they can see you here. Are you 10 minutes away or farther for the call? And there was a call in our district where the neighboring responding chief goes, is there a Belgium chief? Because you guys aren't showing up on anything.
So we are showing up at 911. All of the GPS has been repaired on all the vehicles. Still a little wonky at Station 2, that's being worked on Friday. But 911 can now see all of our vehicles live. That's all been repaired on the modems and all brought up to date. So when any chief requests that a Belgian chief goes by, they can see if we're signed in, and they can see if we're not signed in, we're not showing. If we are signed in, they can see the live location of their vehicles. So that's across the fleet.
why are we sharing that with the people that are responding to the call, like the other vehicles, I guess?
There isn't an easy program for that, right? The best way to do that is using geolocation through 911. If they're looking for the next engine, that engine shows it's in quarters, it doesn't show the staffing. But 911 can see where we are when those requests are made through 911.
You can look at Cleveland right now, and you can see 3 of their rigs on the I am responding. And if they go to an alarm, you can see them driving down the road. Why do we have to ask 911? Find out why you guys as the chief or neighboring chief have to find out who's coming, and they can look at a screen and see it coming.
So I can see that on the MBT. I can see those units, as long as they're set up properly with 911, you can see that right on the map. You can see the location of those vehicles if we're looking for something specific.
Do all of them show up every time you turn on your MDT? So if you've got Seneca River, Northwest,
If they have it set up properly with 911, yes.
So your answer is yes then?
Yes, if I have a working MDT, yes.
That was it? Alrighty. Okay, our very new community risk reduction specialist, Norm Carroll, what have you got for us tonight?
I met with the Red Cross, Susan Pope, who is their disaster, she's their community disaster program manager. And she walked me through the smoke detector installation program. And we talked about, you know, the target individuals that they look for. They're looking for African American, low income people, people over 65, people under 18, which meets a lot of our demographics. And so the program was presented and brought it back to the chief. We talked about it and wanted to bring it to you. So some of the nuances that we have to figure out is, you know, kind of how we're going to implement. Some of the thoughts have been to put a smoke detector, one of the received smoke detectors on all apparatus. And when we respond to a smoke detector call and find that we have a smoke detector that is not working, we install it. We gather all the information, bring that back. I will schedule an appointment with the person to install the rest, because the program will install enough detectors to meet code, which means one in every bedroom, one within 10 feet of every bedroom in the hallway, one on every floor. So we can outfit, you know, somebody's house without any issues. We start with 24, and we keep getting smoke detectors until we just can't get rid of them anymore. And we request them and either pick them up in Liverpool or they will be delivered to us. Some thoughts on how we get this information out. Put a QR code with a write-up on the website, on our Facebook page. We'll have a set up for any tables that we do at events. We'll have people be able to shoot the QR code, put in their information, and then we'll follow up with, scheduling situations that we go through. There's some specific paperwork, so anybody that's going to, I'll probably put on a training class for people to show them. There's some specific paperwork that we have to fill out. They're starred, what has to be filled out. It all goes into a database for them. For every year they have to renew the grant program that they go through. There's some key points that they want us to use, and we'll talk about what those are, making sure people have a plan for escape and different things like that. They also provide a dry erase document where they can draw a picture of the house and exits, the meeting place where, so they can teach their kids or anybody that's come to spend time with them where to meet so they get out of the building safely. It comes with a dry erase marker and magnets to put it up on the refrigerator. All that is included in the program. I have filled out the documentation that is necessary, and we will need to just kind of get the approval so I can sign as the manager for the program and get that started. One other point that comes out is they do want to know if something happens to detectors. So if we find some that are broken, we need to let them know so they can come off of our list. Because if we are found, because monthly they're going to ask us for our numbers. And if we find that we have 10 smoke detectors that are unaccounted for, then we will be responsible to pay for that. She told me that there is nobody that has ever reached the 10. They usually find them somewhere. So it was just something that came up. It's a free program, except if you can't find the detectors that there are there. So I was just looking for approval to go ahead and sign the agreement with American Heart to start this program.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, Red Cross.
Red Cross, yes. So I'll make a motion to go ahead and allow that. Do we have a second? Mike, any further discussion?
So, when you're talking about losing the detectors or they get damaged, does that mean the ones that are in-house here that we have on hand?
Yes.
Or the ones that we've already installed?
No, the ones that we have in our
Yep.
cache.
Okay.
Because the documentation paperwork that we have, when we go out and put one in,
Right.
or the number that we put in, that's all documented on that sheet, and it's reflected in the report that we give to them.
No, that's what I was just wondering, like you put one in a residence and then 6 months later you go back to that same residence and you got a defective detector.
That'll come out.
Yep, and we just put it
And
on
we'll
the back.
document, replace a detector,
Okay.
or a defective detector.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of us, following through with the
Right.
documentation.
This is enhancement on what we have. We already have a smoke detector program going, and this is just a huge step in addition to that, with some fire prevention going on board with that. With additional detectors, typically we install one, maybe 2 detectors. So this will ensure that the whole house is up to code and keeping everybody safe. So.
And another option would be is we're gonna be doing our fund drive, putting that QR code maybe on our pamphlet when we do our mailer.
Also, yeah, great idea.
Yep.
Great idea.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Mike, yes?
Just one for clarification, Nora. If we go on a detector call and it's bad, are we replacing one or are we putting everything in up to code?
On the call, we would replace one, just so that we can get the crews back in service, because it's gonna, some of these places are gonna take a little bit of time to actually install. But if we left without installing something, then we're becoming liable for, if there's an issue that happens. So we want to at least get one in there, and then we'll get back there ASAP to install the rest.
And that's what we did. Years ago, we were on a call 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the individual said, well, what happens now? What happens now? So the light went off and we started installing and purchasing detectors. And again, like I said, this is just a huge improvement on it, so it's an enhancement. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, what have you got for the long-term planning?
In our August long-term planning, we had Chief Eve discussing starting into phase 2. Talked about our strengths, our weaknesses, established MTO. Talked about a CRR person, which we have on board now. Thank you very much. Talked about 30 having jurisdiction expectations and lack of volunteers, and looking at our infrastructure as to where we are with Station 1 and Station 2 and the future. So another planning meeting towards the end of September is planned. I haven't got a date yet. Still gathering data.
Okay. New trucks, new apparatus.
The new truck, as Chief mentioned, we're getting radios, electronic possibly this week. He's working with Colden to get the tools mounted. Progress is working on it steadily.
And we have 3 pieces currently listed.
We have pieces listed on garage, Brenly. Fire tech will be, tomorrow all 4 will be listed on fire tech. Today I got 2 of them over there. She didn't get back the authorization form yet, but those will all be listed by tomorrow on fire tech.
So if you're looking for a nice fire truck, talk to Mark. He's a guy.
And I got whatever you need covered.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Lysander Public Safety, so there was no meeting in August. The next meeting will be tomorrow night. It's going to be 7 o'clock at Phoenix Station 1. Again, everyone is welcome. Like to see you there. And then we're going to have discussion on the fire prevention at the schools. So that's going to be topic of tomorrow night's meeting. Budget finance, Kit, what have you got?
Last month, we presented the proposed preliminary budget. I have not heard anything from any of the commissioners. Certainly, if there's any questions that we can answer. Otherwise, I would move to adopt the preliminary budget.
Yes.
Question.
I'll second it. And discussion. Mike?
Just 22. Is this in reserves and in a savings account? I'm asking about a $16,500 for 26 in the chief's budget. It's half cut in, cut out. This page.
Oh, that's budget to reserve. It's included in the chief's budget, but he's budgeted for 16.5 to go to reserve.
So that's leaving there.
That's leaving the chief, it's staying in the chief's budget, but that's part of his budget. And at the end of the year, that will go to equipment reserve. So he's budgeting for future equipment. But usually it would be down in that line item. It's not there, it's up in the chief's budget.
So that's a note this year. It's the first time we've put a specific reserve in the line item.
Right.
So that's indicating that it's, right, that is, it's reflecting back to the chief's budget for that 16,500.
I guess as I'm looking at this now, and it's just getting clarified, it'll take a little bit for me to digest it, is why we're having any reserve in your account. Give us a line item budget, and then if you hit the wall with the cash flow, then you come back to the commissioners.
Yes, so what this is really line item our reserve. So instead of the reserve just being a bucket of reserve, we are saying that we actually broke down 10-year cost of PPE, added 20%, and said in 10 years we need to replace this much, therefore it requires this much reserve. So if anybody ever audited our reserve, we are starting to walk the line, at least within the equipment budget, where I have $10,500 set to reserve for PPE. So we're earmarking $10,500 for PPE because that's the replacement cost. So we are, instead of just a general reserve for these things, we're actually working to identify what we need to put in reserve for the equipment based on life cycle and replacement cost. So that's making it into the line item, so it's actually more detailed than just a pool of reserve.
Okay, when you first brought that up last year and stuff, and it makes more sense now, but as you can see, it looks like one bucket here.
Right, we're actually moving away. So in the breakout that I sent everybody, you requested the line item. So in that line item, you will see a line item for reserve under protective gear for $10,500. We also have a reserve in radios for $6,000. We did not do a reserve for SCBA and general equipment because we're making a massive SCBA purchase this year and we're doing a really large general equipment purchase next year. So we did not put money into reserve in there because there's active spending in those.
So ballpark, just so down the road if somebody has the same thoughts, the $16,500 for reserve, you're generically you're marking it for PPE items.
Yes, so $10,500 is in reserve for protective gear and $6,000 is in reserve for radios. Next year you will see it for the 27 budget, right? You would now see reserve requests for SCBA because we'll be past that purchase, right? So we'll start putting we'll start assigning fractional reserve amounts towards that 10, 15-year replacements for the SCBA. We'll break down that cost and add reserve there.
Okay, any further questions? All in favor? How about a roll call, Amy? Let's do a roll call vote on this, please.
Commissioner Malone,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrison,
No. No.
No.
Are we done, I'm sorry, Charlie, are we done with the questions, because I was reading something?
Yes.
I had one more question,
I asked if there was any further questions, and there wasn't any.
and I'm gonna ask a question now in the middle of the vote. So I have concern going back to that one insurance that we discussed last month, and I think we should possibly, was that $30,000 that went from $2,000 to $35,000? That was the Blake Hardin Insurance Fund. I think we should get legal advice on this.
The supplemental career for the career staff, long-term, Aflac, that stuff.
Yeah.
So the specific name for that would be the Aflac.
He brought it up at the business meeting, so if anybody had questions on it, he brought it up at the commissioners meeting.
That's fine, it's Aflac insurance that we're looking at.
But yeah, I have concern, and I think if it's in the district's best interest to go and, you know, down that road. Because if you take a look at it, and again, I'll repeat myself from the previous meetings, all the other departments that we know of that do this sort of offering to people, and it's offering that they can have it, they allow the individuals to purchase it themselves. to have them, that we're gonna match somebody's full-time salary that's not here,
We're not gonna match their full-time salary.
that's how it was presented. Because we don't pay enough here, it's only gonna be the Belgium salary.
It's gonna get them closer to whole, but it's not gonna get them whole. But it's gonna give them more than what they have here. Because here it doesn't touch it with what we have insurance coverage for. It's also a line item in the budget. It's still something that would have to be approved by the board to purchase and move forward with it. Just because it's budgeted doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's gonna go for. I mean, the intention is there, that's where we would like to have it, but
So I'd like to have an intention also that we're gonna have 4 people full-time staff. Do we add that tonight too?
we have staffing budgeted, right?
Full-time?
Not for full-time.
Well, why can't we add it? That's the intention. We're trying to clean this up so we can get it through.
Well,
I have big concerns with this. And I think if one severe injury brought into this place, paid for by this department, is going to have huge ramifications on what we pay for insurance.
This is separate from that. So this is, if somebody has an injury, yes, our insurance is going to go up. This is a supplemental that takes care of our employees. This has no bearing on what we pay as a district. This is an aside. If they are injured, it doesn't change the program with Aflac. It's not like your car insurance when you get in an accident and it goes up. They have a set rate sheet that they use. Do they increase over time? Yes. Does somebody making a claim against this increase our insurance? Absolutely not. The rate sheet is the rate sheet, that's what we pay. So it does not work like a car insurance where you get in a crash and it increases your insurance. I have, in my family, we have personal Aflac policies with thousands of dollars of claims against them. It has not increased what we pay for Aflac.
Do you pay for that, or does somebody else pay for that?
As we've explained, most places, yes, they pay for that. My wife had employer supplemented Aflac, so yes, that was supplemented when she was employed with that company. They did pay towards it, not all of it, but they paid towards it. And now that she's not with them, she pays that herself. We understand most places have folks pay for that on their own. We are asking to approach that differently. We pay for insurance for our volunteers that gets them close to full-time salaries. We do not provide that same for our career staff.
I'm going to still hold that. I think it's a wrong path to go down. None of us here are experts on it. I would at least get, our attorney's opinion on it.
So how come this wasn't done before?
Did I bring it up last month?
And
Absolutely.
how come it wasn't done?
How come what wasn't done?
You had concern, and you say that you want to.
And it was brought up last month.
Then why didn't you get the attorney involved?
Because it should have been dropped last month. We still got time.
Okay. Well, we could either table it or we can continue the vote. Would you have the vote going?
Well, we need to approve
You need to approve the preliminary budget,
Right.
so we can schedule the budget hearing.
Right.
If you do not approve the preliminary budget tonight, we have to have a special meeting to approve the preliminary. Go back to the drawing board with the budget, change it, and then have a special meeting to approve the preliminary budget.
Can you approve the preliminary minus that one item?
that would be at the discretion of the board. That changes your bottom line.
I think
Yeah.
we approve the preliminary, and then at the meeting when we approve the final budget, we can make adjustments.
Right, we can do that.
I'd rather make adjustments down the road.
And then we'll be making adjustments down the road. So
You can add on down the road, not take away.
it's easier to take away.
I don't think you can add on.
Yeah, you can't add on. We're approving bottom line. If we lower it, that's gonna be fine. We can't increase it down the road.
I don't think you can increase it, right? Once you approve the preliminary budget. I can't remember.
Well, we can, like,
You could
Kelly
change it
said,
to,
we can approve less than our final budget.
Yeah, but you can't, no.
Okay, let's continue with the vote.
So Malone,
Yes.
Harrison,
No.
Thompson,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Churro,
Just be as loud. No.
Commissioner LaCrease.
Yes.
So that is carried.
Okay. Carried, thank you. Oh, boy.
So we need to set the budget hearing date, and we could, the budget hearing has to be in the third week of October. Used to be that it had to be the third Tuesday. They've changed it so it can be any day in the third week of October. Our normal commissioners' meeting is October 20th. So if we have the budget hearing prior to our meeting on the 20th, we could, that would eliminate our having to have a special meeting to approve the budget. So it makes sense to schedule our budget hearing for October 20th.
Sounds good, and that should give you plenty of time, Mike, to pursue that.
What time?
6 o'clock.
Is this your budget? Maybe you should contact them. You're the chairperson.
I don't have an objection, you do. So I think, you should contact him.
And what if I say I contacted him, he says he's totally against this?
Then bring it back to the board.
What do you think? I'll bust it.
Well, how about the budget committee?
Okay, we'll look into it. Budget committee will look into it, Mike.
Excellent.
We'll report back to you, okay?
Sounds good. Or he can. So we go. What time on the 20th?
6 o'clock. So our budget hearing is 7 o'clock for our regular meeting.
Yep.
Or we
That
can,
gives Amy time to go into the controller's website and enter the information about the 2% tax cap, which we are exceeding.
Okay, technology committee, that's me. So one of the things that we need to look into is the security cameras. We're still paying on all of the security cameras. We have 2 cameras that have been removed due to sleeping quarters, and we're still paying on those.
I don't think we pay individually on the cameras, we're paying,
You sure? So I thought there was a number of cameras that the charge
have
was
to
on there.
look, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember
we
that.
own the cameras, I don't know if it's,
But we're paying something per camera. So. And then the other thing is we need to enlist or establish somebody, a group of volunteers or someone to work on our website. A lot of things need to be updated on it. A lot of things need to be updated on that. That is listed as the department website. We need to have our own district website. So there needs to be some separation between the two.
we aren't required to have a district website.
We are or aren't? I didn't hear you.
We are not required to have a district website
Okay.
at this time.
So then that's the department's website, so they can maintain the website.
That's probably something that needs to be discussed.
I mean, if the district doesn't require it and it's listed as the departments, then it should be the
district-
department.
Currently, right now, the district is not required to have a website.
Okay.
At some point, we may have to.
Okay. So, like I said, this is
But
the department's
there's
website.
policy and procedure behind that, and that's why the district has it.
The district is paying for it.
It's a lot of money, an awful lot of money. And again, if you look, the CRR position is still up there. If you look at the apparatus, there's apparatus that's.
The apparatus has been updated. And that part of the CRR position was to work on updating the website and getting some more current information up there. I think the district can utilize it more. And that's something that I think he can work on for us.
There is room to make improvements.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
We have already discussed several of those amongst other tasks. That is what we have talked about with the CRR and making sure that when we point folks to the website, that there is usable, useful, productive information there for them that presents the district and the department as a whole in support of the community. So that is on our radar to make better use of that.
Very good, because I look at it and I see it's old. It's old information. So, all right, got a lot of work cut out for you.
And it's extremely expensive compared to what you get out there. You don't need to spend $1,600 or $1,400 a year when I pay $350 or if even that for 2 years. It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
Thank you. Personnel, Kate, what do we got?
The 4 firefighters that were hired last month are starting to do their, shifts. We hired one additional last week, and he will be doing his orientation this week and starting to work. That's it.
So that's it?
Brings our total to 25 or 30? What's our number up to now with career staff?
We're at what, 29?
29? Okay.
Yep.
And you're short one, correct?
I believe we can hire one more.
And last month, we said we would have that by tonight. Who do we have?
Said we would work on.
The chairman said, after a debate, they went back and forth on when we should get it, and it was said by this meeting. How you doing?
Doing good. Thank you. All right, vehicle maintenance, Mark, what do we got?
Vehicle maintenance, truck 2 went out Had some issues that were safety concerns, have been addressed. Went to Albany to have the issues taken care of, overseen by the manufacturer. Truck has come back. We still have a few more maintenance issues that are going to be addressed on it maybe this week, if the schedule's working out good. So hope to have truck 2 back in service by midweek, depending on the work schedule. Overall, that's really the only maintenance that we have outstanding that I'm aware of.
Okay.
M2.
M2. What about M2?
Oh,
It's a battery.
M2 has a new battery in it. So,
I don't know, that keeps replacing a lot.
yeah, it was 3 years old. 3 years old.
Warranty.
All right, grounds, building maintenance.
All right,
buildings.
on to the building maintenance. We've been going over this for quite some time. Paving. We sent out another update. We only got 3 back. The revised bids have come back, and some of them have gone up in price because we've been waiting. Roughly, one vendor went up 5,000, another one went up almost 6,000, and another one's still at even. Prices that we have, the lowest price is $83,655. That one is doing the most work for the repair that we need. We had one at 30,000, but that was just doing a Band-Aid, and we don't know how long it's gonna be before you get a new station. So the way I look at it is fix it right. If you're gonna tear it apart, let's fix it right, solve the problem. My recommendation is to move forward tonight and approve the vendor, award it to the lowest bidder, and let's get this project started. The lowest bid was through Davis Walbridge. He was the lowest bid that we had.
Okay, so we're gonna move ahead with that. I know there's been discussion going both ways. It's just something that needs to be done. We've kicked the can down the road long enough.
Yeah.
We're just gonna move ahead with it. The money's already been approved on there, so
But we haven't awarded the bid.
we're just awarding it tonight.
I just need to say that I'm just frustrated about, oh dear, $80,000. We don't know where we are in the long-term plan. Long-term planning is working on renovations or building, we don't know which. I'm just frustrated to spend that amount of money, and I'm tempted to go with a Band-Aid.
So there's multiple options. You can leave the cones out there as is. And as Mark stated, it's gone up. In just a short amount of time, it's gone up $5,000. So next year, where is it going to be? The year after that, where is it going to be? A new building, a new station, a new facility is not going to happen overnight. You have a situation where it's a hazard. You've got a potential hazard out there. So all you need is, trip and fall or whatever. You've got enough bus traffic and plows that come in that have done damage already to it. When they replaced the river road here, you had all that heavy equipment in here turning around and sitting on it also. That didn't help. We can just do nothing and say, well, we're gonna build a new building, we still have no idea where we're at. So in the meantime, a Band-Aid isn't gonna do anything. You put 2 bags of cold patch down there, it's not gonna do anything. It's a lot of money, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But,
We have it.
yep.
Just because we have it doesn't mean we have to do it.
Well, you're right, it doesn't mean we have to do it, but we have a lot of money that we do need to put into not just personnel and moving forward, we also have to maintain the buildings for our personnel, that they're safe and everything else.
But the $30,000 is just a Band-Aid?
$30,000 would be, looking at the paperwork, as everybody had a copy of, is a very minor Band-Aid. And he's only gonna put in a trench, go over to your drain, and just patch very little. You got spider cracks all throughout that whole parking lot out there.
The whole lot is just.
And that's
literally
what the
falling apart.
80,000 was gonna be covering, was that whole main parking lot, parking apron out there. But, I mean, it's the cost we gotta do. We have to move forward with this, or not. The plows that are gonna be plowing it, we're gonna do damage to their trucks if they dig it in too deep and start ripping it up. Then you won't be able to respond at all out of here because your whole front end's gonna be ripped up. So either we fix it right, and it is a cost, but it's something that previous administration even said, we Band-Aided it before, it's a temporary fix, but let's do it right.
And what's the time frame that they're looking at?
We don't have a time frame now because back then we were in, it was beginning of the season and they could have put us right in. Now they'll have it in, hopefully I'd have to call them.
RFP says they have to do it within 120 days. The request for proposal.
Where are you taking it out of? Where are you taking it out of on the budget? Because you don't have a permissive referendum anymore.
It's
We have a
under,
permissive referendum last month.
Referendum number 4.
it's already there,
For 85,000?
for 85,000. And we're under that.
So we budgeted for it, that was approved.
You have to approve that.
Right. So make a motion to approve the contract for written for the repair of Station 1 parking lot and drainage to the lowest bidder that we received. For the amount of work, yes. If we do the 30,000, that's a Band-Aid. He's even got it right here
For the RFP.
at 86, if he was
For
to
the
do the right
RFP,
job.
yes.
So 86 of that, so it's going to be 84. Do this is 83.
Okay, Mark made the motion. Do you want the name so it's official?
Huh?
Do you want the name of the company that we're,
I've got it.
you got it? Okay, very good. I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstentions?
Who was opposed, Kit and Mike?
Kitten alone. Okay. Motion approved. Thank you. We'll be in touch, students. Get it moving. Okay. Any update on washer dryer, or is that on hold?
That's, I can get a stream coming through here and put a rack in, it's like,
It's a lot of money, right? There's nothing that isn't a lot of money. Not much less than fixing the parking lot. Anyways. Fire prevention.
Fire prevention, this Friday, 19th, is the evac drill from the school. That is still a plan. We mentioned it this morning, he sent it out to all the parents so they're aware of it. The principal has. Last year when we did it, it's quick and simple, they just came over, came into the bays, stayed here for about 5-10 minutes, and then we walked back. So that will be on the 19th, and also for your meeting, October 30th, Kit asked me to speak with the principal for fire prevention. And October 30th is now penciled on his calendar for the school.
For what school?
For Palmer. And thank you to those who went to Anheuser-Busch this past weekend. With limited people that we had available, so that was very appreciated. Yeah. And other than that, that's all I have for now.
Good, very good. Old business, anything? New business, got a youth member application. Okay. Is that the youth member? So we have a youth member application that's gone through the departments, it's been approved, looking for the commissioners to approve it. We do have people that will be working with him.
Did the president ever get the situation straightened out for our junior program?
Looking into mentorship, we right now only have one other person in the youth. We don't have any WAN membership.
Because if you didn't, and before this application came in, I was gonna have you make a motion to disband it because they do absolutely nothing. Now, what you should do is send them to a place, and if you follow Facebook, there's a ton of them that do an awful lot of activities. We do nothing.
I've asked around the body, and there really hasn't been a mentorship program here for a while, or mentors. This person coming in now is going to have a mentor with him when he comes in. I have to get in touch with the other person to see if he's going to be coming back to the youth program, because we really don't, you're right, we really don't have a youth program at this point. There's no.
And I think you have to have a program before you can bring people in.
Correct. But I don't know what the program is, or if there was a program established.
The department approved it, and you guys run the program. Should we table it, maybe, until you figure out if you have a program? Or, I wish Derek was here, he could tell you if Northwest has a program. I think they do.
Thank you.
Our youth members don't participate in the firematic training. They're not given gear. It's more to do fire prevention, classroom training, just kind of get a taste for what the fire department does, but they don't do hands-on. Not until they're 16 in their ranks. So essentially, they're more or less support members.
Okay. Gonna proceed with it? Okay. We'll make a motion to approve him as a youth member. Do we have a second? Mark, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
And abstentions? So moved. Thank you. Any statements from the public?
I've got some other new business there, if I may jump in, because I neglected to do it in my report, so nothing for action, but I did want to mention, failed to mention that this last Saturday night, we did not have staff scheduled. We had a number of folks out of town, reached out to one of our volunteer members, and they successfully put together a standby crew. We had a full engine plus some folks responding from home. It was well received. I believe everybody had an enjoyable evening. Unfortunately, there was no calls, but we were cut. So I thank everybody for stepping up and putting that together. There was email traffic after the fact that some folks are going to work on doing that on a more regular basis and combining that with their career staff. So it seems like that was a very, very positive evening for everybody and hopefully a path forward.
I've got something.
All right. Kit, what have you got?
Concerning our LoSAP program, a couple of years ago, the state approved an additional years that you can receive the service award. It used to be, when we started our program, we had a maximum of 37 years that they could participate. In 2006, we amended that and brought it up to 40 years. Now, New York State has passed that now we can permit up to 50 years of service. And that was passed in August of 2021. So really, we don't have anyone yet that would be in that area, but we've got members who, if they started when they were 18 years old, then right now, at 58, they could not qualify for the program. So if we increase it to 50 years, then we would help those younger members who joined when they were younger. So I'm not going to ask that we do anything about this tonight. I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. If we want to increase to 50 years, we have to go to the voters for a mandatory referendum, and that could be done at our election in December. But it's not going to be a huge expense or a huge cost, but it would certainly help those younger members who were younger when they joined and give them an opportunity, and it would certainly show support to the volunteers. But any questions about it?
No. Okay. Sounds good. Public comments?
Didn't get a chance last month for July's responses. We had, from what Amy gave me, 84 alarms. There were 12 volunteer scratches. There were 7 paid scratches. Car 1 had 6% of the alarms. Car 2.
So how many scratches, period? Not counting, I don't want to have paid versus volunteers. I want to know how many calls did we not respond to, that's a scratch.
So you're asking me to combine them, and Carol asked me to separate them. You guys work it out. In the past, you always say,
I want to
what are the
know a
pays?
scratch. A scratch is when...
Scratches nobody shows.
Correct. I don't care if it's paid or volunteer, a scratch is nobody comes. So by
Just answer it.
separating them, it doesn't do any justice to anybody. It's
It
not
does.
helping anybody.
It does. Because they asked for it, and our job is, if we can answer the questions, they answer them.
They who?
Carol has, Evans has.
I didn't ask for it.
Not last month, but
I didn't. So get your story straight.
so they had that. Car 1 was at 6%. Car 2 was at 10.8%. Car 3 was at 19%. don't have them completely. Car 1 was at 2%, car 2 was at 3%, car 3 was at 16%. Car 1 and car 2 has been pretty much steady since car 2's been in. Car 1's been steady since he's been in. You always push the numbers when you go after somebody. What's it required for a chief? What do you gotta make?
15%.
Okay. The only other thing, and this came out from the county, with our paid staff getting out the door, we are slower for the county compared to DeWitt, Manlius, Fayetteville, and I'm not gonna throw Syracuse in there. And we only have to get 2 people on the road. Those are just how the numbers fall. That's it for those stats.
So what's the numbers, where's our response time now?
For what?
Our response time for getting out the door? You said we're slower than. Has it improved, or have we improved or not improved with career staff here? Has our time gone up or gone down?
From when it was all volunteer?
Yes.
You were here. When Root came in, you improved. When Root left, we've gone back down.
I don't see how we could do that.
The county does those numbers.
Is it possible that the county isn't recording things properly? Because there's many times that when I'm listening to the monitor and everything, they don't even acknowledge that Belgium has arrived at a call. Belgium is closing themselves out before they've even acknowledged that they're there. So
That could be just like the chief is saying with the locator on the MDTs. It's there, but
you know, I can tell you, he can't even get here 1,000 feet up the road before they're out the door. It's 1,000 feet.
they generate the numbers. I'm just reporting.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Anything else? All righty, how about a motion to,
How about exec session?
do we have a reason for exec session, Mike?
Motion.
Okay.
Exec session.
All right.
Oh, let's pick G. The resume or an employment history of an individual which may lead to his or her continued employment with the district. Make it H. Lead to his or her dismissal would be your plan.
Okay. We're moving into executive session.
Is there a second?
Anybody want a second, Mike's moving to executive session? Mike? All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?